circulation.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes is designed to mimic a professional massage specialist's hand kneading and working tight muscles in just the right way to bring maximum relief and pleasure. It is even detachable, allowing you to get a deep tissue relief in your upper and lower back, neck and shoulders, feet, calves, or anywhere on your body.
I can't even describe to you the feeling. It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Call or go online now to receive the Remedy Massage System. Your system includes the Zero-G memory foam layer, the vibrational infrared and ultra shiatsu therapies, the removable shiatsu pillow, remote control, and a convenient carry bag free. Just one massage visit can cost almost $100, but you can own the Remedy Massage System and have as many therapeutic treatments as you want. The sooner you order...
Welcome to Media Exposed. This week we're going to cover, there was a big press conference in the White House. South African leader came in. I'm going to show you what happened there and the after effects that ripple through the media. We're going to take a look at Cancergate. Can we call it Cancergate? Another hidden gem that was hidden from the American public. We're going to take a look at that from a medical standpoint as well as a media standpoint, because they work hand in hand in this story. We're also going to look at what we did again. We're going to cover this again because it's going viral. The Jake Tapper book, Alex Thompson, and the scam they're pulling over the will of the American people. And Elon's back in the news. He made some big news this week. We're going to look at Elon Gate and Elon derangement syndrome. That and more coming up on Media Exposed.
Do you dare to follow me down?
What they do say is fake news.
Head into the unknown.
That's how devious the media's become. They're full force activists now.
They colluded. Trump folks were in on it.
Down the rabbit hole.
Sways elections, sways policy. We need to expose them.
Republicans trash the country.
Where it stops, no one knows. We're going.
I've been doing this since I was 18. I've had hit jobs done against me. I've been attacked by media reporters. Am I afraid? No. Truth will prevail. Fake news media, we're here to call you out.
Head into the unknown.
Media Exposed with Adam Weiss starts now.
Welcome back to Media Exposed. Early in the week, Trump invited the South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, to visit the White House. And boy, was that some visual sightings that they showcased during this visit. What was expected to be a diplomatic talk, trade talks, international relation talk, Trump brought up the plight of the white farmers, and it took a life of its own. I want to bring in our first guest, David Zier. David, from host over here at Breaking Point on Real America's Voice. Dave, thanks for joining us as always.
Thank you, Adam. How are you?
David, this was something else early in the week with this white, the farmers and the South African president. He thought he was coming for international relations. And, only Trump can pull something like this off. And before we discuss it, I want to show you what happened when Pete Alexander, because the media always has to do their best to interrupt things. And let's watch cut one here. Pete Alexander brings up, denying refugees from other countries when he's talking basically about South Africa. Let's go to cut one. Watch.
Here, can you explain to Americans why it's appropriate to welcome white Afrikaners here when other refugees like Afghans, Venezuelans, Haitians have all had their protective status revoked?
Well, this is a group, NBC, that is truly fake news. They ask a lot of questions in a very pointed way. They're not questions, they're statements. We've had tremendous complaints about Africa, about other countries too, from people. They say there's a lot of bad things going on in Africa, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. When you say we don't take others, all you have to do is take a look at the southern border. We let 21 million people come through our border, totally unchecked, totally unvetted. They came from all over the world. In many cases, they're criminals. They come from prisons. They come from mental institutions. They come from street gangs. They're drug dealers. So don't say that we didn't take them. We're trying to get them out as fast as we can. and we're doing record business on that. And we just won a big case where we're allowed to send back hundreds of criminals to Venezuela. Just won that today.
David, if you reverse the roles during the Biden administration, probably no questions from John Pierre, Karen Jean Pierre and Biden and the whole administration about the millions of refugees they allowed in. I just got dropped off earlier, David, and there was for an Uber driver, Lyft driver to the studio, and I said, "Where are you from?" And he said, "Bulgaria." And I'm like, when I grew up out here, you and I every time I take an Uber, it's a different nationality out here. So don't tell me we don't allow refugees in left and right. So what do you think of that question? It's like 59 people we let in last week, right?
Well, the white people in South Africa who own about 70+% of the land, they're only 7% of the population. They don't want a repeat of Robert Mugabe in Zimbabwe decades ago, where the white farmers were slaughtered, and they don't want a repeat of that. The violence is very, very high among all races as victims in South Africa, but particularly white landowners and farmers have been attacked, assaulted, and killed, and they're looking for refuge. But this is nothing new about the media deflecting, because remember in the 80s, I used to cover South African issues all the time, and the media, hid the fact that Winnie Mandela may have been involved in the hundreds of kidnappings of people, and they necklaced the opposition and putting tires around their neck and lighting them on fire and chopping them into bits, and how the South African Communist Party ran the African National Congress while Mandela was in prison. So once again, that NBC question was probably to deflect what's really going on in South Africa.
It's the same Pete Alexander. Watch this cut to. In the middle, just to tell the audience, so that Trump showcased the plight of the white farmers, articles, videos, one of the opposition leaders screaming, "Go after white people, get them to crowds, to theaters, to auditoriums." He was screaming it. Trump showcased it right to his face, and the media played defense for the South African leader. It's ridiculous. But let's watch cut two here. Pete Alexander, NBC again.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing, they also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment in addition.
Only Trump, David, can get away with that, punching back like that. It seems like that's the way the media operated on Trump 1.0, now 2.0, same exact way. Trump's holding a big press conference showing the plight of the white farmers. And he asks a question that's already done. The deal is done. The Defense Department took it in. Why are they pivoting and not the issue at hand? It's exactly what the media likes to do with Trump. Give me a quick thoughts on that one.
Yeah, well, maybe the question should have been what Elon Musk was saying months ago, asking the president of South Africa, why do you have openly racist ownership property laws? I thought they got rid of apartheid. Now it's reversed, right? So people are really worried about the future down there. And Julius Malema of the National Assembly has called for the murder of white people in South Africa. So it's not a lie.
And watch what happened the next day. Instead of the media saying, is this true? Let's look at these plight of the white farmers. Let's see if there's deaths out there, the thousands. Instead of them investigating what Trump showed in articles, showed on videos, watch how they behave the next day, the media playing. Let's go to cut A.
To the dramatic scene in the Oval Office today, the tense confrontation, President Trump ambushing the president of South Africa.
Next, another Oval Office meltdown, President Trump ambushing the president of South Africa.
President Trump is being accused of conducting something of a diplomatic ambush of South Africa's president in the Oval Office.
To be with you, I'm Katie Tur. President Trump orchestrated another Oval Office ambush today.
Today, Donald Trump meeting with the president of South Africa and attempting to ambush and humiliate that leader.
Zelensky territory, where essentially he was a bit ambushed inside the Oval Office.
Felt like an ambush in there, kind of like the President Zelensky meeting in the Oval Office.
This was an ambush
it was orchestrated.
Cyril Ramaphosa brought his best diplomatic self to this meeting, but nothing could have prepared him for this multimedia ambush.
What started as, to some degree, an ambush.
Well, Katie, I mean, it was an ambush.
Ambush.
Ambushed.
Ambush.
An ambush.
Ambushing.
Ambushed inside the Oval.
Yeah. I mean, what did they get? A fax memo right away? They all get the same exact talking points from the DNC. It's absolutely ridiculous to me. Do you see that, Dave? What do you think of that? That was the next day, next night. Same night and the next day.
Listen, all I got to say is, if you were a foreign leader and you're coming to the White House, you better be prepared for anything, because the president didn't, and South Africa absolutely wasn't.
Wendy McMahon just quit CBS as the head of CBS because she couldn't take the new Trump administration. Ridiculous that these media, as soon as he gets a little, same as the 60 Minutes executive who said a couple of weeks ago, I'm quitting. God forbid someone says, how about you moderate your tone a little bit? The only business in America where they can be ravaging left-wingers and God forbid you say pull over a little bit, you're pushing away half of America is the media. But she quit. Give me your thoughts on that. She's out, the head of CBS.
Yeah, well, Adam, coming off the ABC News lawsuit against Stephanopoulos, a victory for Trump, CBS is bracing for impact and making preemptive decisions. You got to remember, Paramount, who owns CBS, is about to settle with Trump because they got this $8 billion merger going on with Skydance Media, and they want approval for the deal. They don't want anything clouding it. So they're making quick work of McMahon. I don't know if she's leaving on her own or not, but they don't want this to affect that deal. Their stock prices are at risk over this.
President Trump and Melania, she was there, big fanfare. She signed the Revenge Porn Act. It was a big step. It was on the White House early in the week. But you know what I noticed? No Good Morning America, no Today Show, no coverage for Melania. Yeah. Same as we saw 7-8 years ago. It's ridiculous. This first lady should be getting the coverage she deserves. Quick final thoughts on that.
Bipartisan bill, Ted Cruz, Amy Klobuchar, over 400 people in Congress voted for it. Paris Hilton also backed the bill, but they never give Melania credit. And CNN and Gallup, remember, at the end of Trump's first term, said that, Melania had the lowest ratings of a first lady in history. Yeah, because they put Michelle Obama on the cover of every magazine for 8 years, and they ignored Melania.
Dave, thanks for joining us, buddy. I'll see you soon. Coming up, the book everyone is talking about, but never should have even been published. But next, how complicit was the media in Biden's cancer cover-up? We're going to take a look at that and more coming up on Media Exposed.
There's a concerted effort to intimidate and censor conservative thinkers. The very freedoms secured by our Constitution are being threatened by the most liberal progressives America has ever seen. It seems like everything they do is to the detriment of our great nation. But there are plenty of patriots with the courage to stand up to the left. Join AMAC. AMAC is a voice for conservatives that cannot be ignored. Stand with over 2 million America-loving patriots by joining AMAC today.
There's nothing worse than losing your dog before their time. So why do so many dog foods contain awful things a human would never eat? To save his pets, world-famous veterinarian Dr. Marty knew he had to change what was in their bowl.
That's why I created Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, my breakthrough formula that's changed everything about dog food.
Nature's Blend contains nothing but all-natural ingredients designed to help dogs with everything from digestive issues to itching and policking, even moving around better. And that's because Nature's Blend is freeze-dried. So instead of destroying the nutrients with high heat, we gently preserve them, and you'll see the difference in your dog.
Take it from a veterinarian with over 50 years of experience saving dogs' lives. I have never seen a food make this much impact on a dog's health.
Such a huge difference in her health. More energy, more playful, no more pooping issues. He's healthier, he looks better.
Dr. Marty has thousands of 5-star reviews. And for a limited time, get up to 54% off Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, plus a free gift with our special TV offer. Call or go to drmartypets.com/TV. That's drmartypets.com/TV.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-sized hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Call or go online now to get the Superlight 25-foot pocket hose Copperhead today for only $29.99. Order right now and get our 10-pattern thumb drive spray nozzle free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. There is a strict limit of 3 per order, so don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker.
Watch. 1 add the white cup for rice, 2 add the blue cup for water, 3 click it.
And let Rice Robot perfectly cook it.
The secret is perfect cook technology for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops, and keeps it warm to serve.
It won't burn, overcook, or undercook, guaranteed.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system, all for just $39.99. Order now.
Welcome back to Media Exposed. Is this medical gaslighting at the highest level? Biden stage 4 cancer announced last Sunday. He didn't just pop up overnight. That's what I've been told by the majority of doctors. He's been getting regular checkups, as every president does. They must have knew. The doctors either lied or bent every medical norm to cover it up, and the media are just as culpable. This isn't health, it's political theater. The media is busy benefiting from what it means to be fit for office, pretending memory loss, fatigue, falling down. Is this part of it? Was this part of the cover-up? All this, Biden decline we saw over years, neglect, was it elder abuse? Was it Jill covering for him? There's so many questions with this diagnosis coming out, and it came out late on a Sunday night news dump. It's a media. The White House dropped the cancer bombshell quietly right before a damning book release that came out about him. We will get to that next, but I want to bring on my next guest because the media leads are telling us to respect his privacy. Is that the way it should be? I'm going to bring my next guest, Dr. David Schusterman. He's New York City-based urologist, friend, and founder of Modern Urology. David, thanks for joining us. I think I reached out to you last Sunday. I said, David, this is breaking news here with this, Biden being prostate cancer. I'm not a doctor. And you said, wait a second, it's at his bones? That takes 7-10 years. And the odds of a sitting president not getting checked up is pretty much impossible. How could a president? What was your initial thoughts when I called you last Sunday and saying, how could this be hidden from the public, right? What was your initial thoughts?
My initial thought was, what's his PSA been? Because that's our go-to kind of early diagnostic system. And in almost all cases, PSA will give you an early warning, like, okay, you're starting to grow prostate cancer. So when I looked at that up, it looked like he hasn't had it done in 30 years, whereas all the other presidents have had the results published. Like, for example, Trump has it published, Obama had it published, George Bush Sr. and Jr. had them published. So, PSA has been around for 30 years. So my initial thought was, how come Joe Biden's PSA has never been revealed? Despite the fact that he's had BPH diagnosis for many years. And things started coming together because Gleason 9 cancer usually takes a long time. And by the time you get bone mets, it's been followed for 5 to 10 years. And at that point, bone mets develop. So I suspected that, as with his cognitive decline, that we weren't being told all the facts.
Look at this. I'm going to go to cut 3. We'll go News Nation. It's Cuomo and O'Reilly. You went viral on News Nation. Let's take a look at what they said when Cuomo said it was just a little bias. Watch cut 3.
What I'm saying is, with this book and what they did, there is no cover-up of Biden's health. What they did was certain members of the media decide to not push it the way they would have if it was Trump's health. If it was Trump who had a mental acuity problem to the same degree as Biden's, they're both old guys, but they would have jumped all over it 24/7, but they didn't want Trump to win. So they played down what was obvious about Biden. But it's not that there was a cover-up by his staff. What did we not know that there is to know? That he forgets names and dates? We saw that on TV together.
You don't, look,
out of his staff and the Democratic Party came a consistent drumbeat of the guy's on it. The guy's good. The guy's doing his job. The guy's good for America. Consistent almost every day. Then they keep him away from the press. He doesn't talk to the press, okay? That's covering up who he is.
Not spinning.
And then every time he made a mistake, there was another excuse. And then the CNNs of the world and the MSNBCs of the world, open border, they didn't care about the open border. All right, inflation going more than 9%.
Different. That has nothing to do with his mental health.
They didn't care about that.
That's just bad policy.
Sure it does. He didn't. Yeah, but he didn't make the policies. He didn't make them. That's what you're making your mistake. He was a zombie from day one.
I've talked to him about his immigration policies. They were all the same ideas. You know, he believes that there's an openness to this country and that we need new blood. And he was worried about the left flank. Look, I don't have to agree with you. You can yell at me.
Absurd.
David, I think it is a cover-up, massive cover-up, because we're not just talking about somebody working in a regular corporate job. We're talking about the president of the free world, nuclear codes, you know, running the biggest defense department in the world, running the economy. And if that's a cover-up, that should be unethical. It's definitely unethical. It should almost be criminal. And
but Adam, there is really no cover-up except for one thing, is that people have HIPAA laws in this country, which protects them from doctors disclosing their information. So in this case, because there's no law that mandates disclosure of a president's full health, he can hide behind what is called HIPAA law. HIPAA law, in the beginning part of the program, you started blaming the doctors as if the doctors were responsible. My bet is that the doctors did the best possible job. They've had him on hormone deprivation therapy, but we don't know the facts because at this point, we cannot get them unless Joe Biden or his family sign a HIPAA disclosure form. So for me to, transmit information to any other urologist or any primary care doctor or anyone else, I need the consent of the patient. So we should be demanding the consent of the Bidens so that we could actually see the information like his PSA data.
Right. For someone who's the leader of the free world, leader of the country, we should know this stuff, right? You can't, because what do they, if he was diagnosed with this prostate cancer 7 years ago, what kind of meds would it be on? Wouldn't they affect his way he governs, affect his moods?
So
maybe that's why he was out to shop, closing shop at 3 o'clock. Go ahead, sorry.
So he basically would be on a medicine that blocks his testosterone and brings it down to castration levels. And when you have castration levels of testosterone, it causes depression and causes all kinds of issues with energy. It causes issues with just overall ability to kind of comprehend things. It creates a bit of a fog in patients, which is why I recommend all my patients to check their testosterone, and if it is low, we replace it. But in a cancer setting like this, where it's pretty bad cancer, you would keep him on hormone deprivation the rest of his life. So that's something that should have been disclosed to the American people during the course of his presidency or before the presidency or whenever he found out that he had such advanced stage prostate cancer.
But you know what? We had a media that just allowed him to close shop at 3 o'clock, allowed him not even to have press conferences. This could have been all part of it, right? He could have been, his energy could have been not there. He could have been weak. He could have been holding up. But complicit in all this was the media not holding the feet to the fire. Where is the president today? Why isn't he having a press conference? But, let's go to this cut.
Remember, he's tripping upstairs. He's tripping downstairs. He doesn't know where he is a lot of the time. And that could be all based on the fact that he was on hormone deprivation with bone metastatic disease. So the bone metastatic disease would cause someone to have difficulty walking. And again, we also found out that if he fell one more time, he would be paralyzed. And the only way that would likely happen, and the doctors would be so sure about it, is because he probably had bone metastatic disease, and that would makes the bones very fragile and able to kind of just collapse in case he ever fell again.
Let's go back to a cut 5 with Chris and Bill O'Reilly. And was lied, or was Jill covering this up? Let's just cut 5 here.
The American people have a right to know.
But then why doesn't any president give them the truth about their health? Why does it have to be Biden?
You ask any president. Why does it have to be Biden? Look, if you want to try to justify this unbelievable cover-up that's going to rise as high as Watergate,
what is the cover-up? Watergate?
The cover is the man sat there for
Biden's
4
prostate
years.
exam worse than Watergate? I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, give it to me, because boy, you're killing yourself tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You have a right as an American citizen, Cuomo, to know if your president is infirmed mentally or physically.
I agree.
The Constitution gave the privilege to the press to keep an eye on these people, so that we would know their status and condition. In Watergate, they covered up a crime.
Yes.
If Colonel O'Connor gave a PSA test that showed Biden had cancer and kept it from the public, that is a crime.
David, what's your thoughts on it? Should the public have known if he was in early stage prostate cancer, or is he a normal citizen and he can hide it? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, talking as a citizen myself, not as a doctor, we have to keep patient confidentiality private. On the other hand, talking as a citizen, I want my leader, who's kind of ruling over me and all my family, to be as cognitively there as possible and as healthy as possible. Now, of course, if this was disclosed to us and we elected him anyway, that makes a lot more sense, because people already knew, like, say, for example, John Fetterman, we had his diagnosis and he was elected despite his disability. But in this case, when we're not told of the diagnosis and it's just, later after the presidency told to us, well, he has end-stage cancer already. I mean, it just seems very implausible and very difficult to stomach, especially without the PSA data. I mean, I really think that we definitely had PSA data on him even before he was 70. I mean, from 50 to 70, he had PSA data. If we have that data come out, we would be proven either right or wrong. And we'll see where that goes.
Gotta go, David. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Insight. Up next, Original Sin by Jake Tapper and Alex Tama hit the shelves this week. It's really an embarrassment to the legacy media and the publishing houses. That and more coming up in Media Exposed.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff and less flexible? Do you have trouble sleeping? Are you less active than you once were? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences delivering health-boosting treatments to your body. Full-body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation, bringing relief to joints and muscles and reducing inflammation while supporting your overall mobility. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's amazing. It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to relax and soothe your body, reducing joint pain and stiffness and increasing circulation.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes is designed to mimic a professional massage specialist's hand kneading and working tight muscles in just the right way to bring maximum relief and pleasure. It is even detachable, allowing you to get a deep tissue relief in your upper and lower back, neck and shoulders, feet, calves, or anywhere on your body.
I can't even describe to you the feeling. It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Call or go online now to receive the Remedy Massage System. Your system includes the Zero-G memory foam layer, the vibrational infrared and ultra shiatsu therapies, the removable shiatsu pillow, remote control, and a convenient carry bag free. Just one massage visit can cost almost $100, but you can own the Remedy massage system and have as many therapeutic treatments as you want. The sooner you order, the sooner you can experience the true remedy for your pain, stiffness, and stress. Call now.
Do you have stains in your carpet that won't come out? You need Horsepower Bullshot, the all-new hands-free carpet cleaner and deodorizer. Just spray, and the stain and odor go away. Got pet messes? This black light shows a urine stain is gone in just seconds. The advanced foam action formula penetrates deep to emulsify and neutralize stains and odors. It erases blood stains, makeup, juice, coffee, and more. For older and tougher stains, just give it a little rub and watch as Bullshot works its magic. Red wine spills? They're no problem for Bullshot. And watch up close as burnt bacon grease stains are obliterated right before your very eyes. Get Horsepower Bullshot for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get yours. And there's a strict limit of 3 at this low, low price. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com. So call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com now.
Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson got the big book deal early in the week. It came out on Tuesday, and they were the big cover-up, I feel. How do you get a book deal when you're the same journalist covering up Biden for 5 years, his health? They buried it over and over again with CNN and Axios, too. I would say that. It was rejected by The View. They said he went on Megyn Kelly, and she scorched them. After being rejected by The View and Fox News, they walked onto Megyn's studio very unprepared. She ripped the mask off, and it was brutal. Publishing credibility should go down the tube, too, because the big publishing house was one of the big publishing house, gave him a big this book deal, rewarded him, probably gave him a big advance. So they basically saying rewarding the architects of media malpractice with 6-figure deals. At least Tapper admits to the conservative media was right all along. This isn't journalism. It's grift. It's a book slapped together for clicks and credibility laundering. You're rewarding the ablers. That is a terrible precedent to showcase, and it shouldn't happen. I want to be our next guest, Justine Murray from the Media Research Center, Newsbusters TV host. Justin, thanks for joining us.
Great to be back. Thanks for having me.
I want to go to this cut here because it's Megyn Kelly. They said on the Megyn Kelly interview, Jake Tapper said, well, The View wouldn't take me right now. I wonder why The View wouldn't take him. They love bashing. They probably bashing Biden a little too much, maybe. So The View might be like, we're not ready for that. And Fox wouldn't take him either because Fox probably knows this is kind of a scam book. But I want to go to cut 6 and how Megyn Kelly points out the softball interview that Tapper gave to Biden, and now he's, out there grifting his book. Let's go to cut 6.
You know as well as I do that there's a way of, you can say, hey, there's this poll on your age, or you could say, you just forgot that Jackie Walorski was dead. You asked where she was moments after watching a videotape tribute to her. You lowered the flags at the White House after she died. This happened 13 days before you sat with him. There is a way of pressing a man like that on the actual infirmities to bring it home to him and to the audience, and you didn't do it.
That's correct. I didn't. And like I said, I feel humility about my coverage. I mean, it's not like I was asking him his favorite movie or his favorite color. We were talking about Putin. We were talking about other issues of national importance.
I'm glad that Megyn was giving it to him because it's really ridiculous that a publishing house gave them this book deal and they're out grifting it. What are your thoughts on this? I know that you guys cover the media, but it's almost the nerve of Jake and Alex to go out and talk about, the cover-up of Biden when they were the cover-up. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, the chutzpah, congratulating themselves for somehow being the ones to discover this all when they were the ones who muffled all other outlets who actually did the hard work. They're still taking credit. And notice how Jake Tapper just suddenly finally admits, okay, maybe he was wrong after Megyn Kelly, a true journalist, held his feet to the fire. And we're seeing the same thing with Joe Scarborough on MSNBC just days before he finally admitted, maybe he made a little goofy goof by pretending Biden wasn't decrepit all along. He lied. He said that Biden was the best Biden he's ever been as his current decrepit self. So now they're getting nervous. They feel like they have nothing else left but to maybe admit a little bit that they're still not ready to admit that they were complicit in the cover-up. They're admitting a little bit, okay, oh, silly us, we made a mistake, but that's just not going to hold water. They're just not serious journalists.
Justin, if you reverse the situation and it was a cover-up within the White House, that's criminal, right? Unethical, criminal behavior. And the press is a very important part of our institution, very important, because they're the ones supposed to be holding the administration feet to the fire. That part of cover-up, it's definitely unethical, almost should be criminal, because now they're saying, well, we got it. Well, no, you didn't get it wrong. You're lying. Half of the American people saw it. We saw it when Joe Biden was sitting in his basement running for office, stumbling through interviews. We saw it as soon as he was elected, falling off of plane stairs, wandering around these fake sets they set up. So it's amazing that there's known as mea culpas, basically. No, not mea culpa, their lies. What do you think about the behavior, and what do you think publishing houses should actually be rewarding these people?
Not at all. They should be questioning them. They should be the Jake Tapper and our media elitists. We should be questioning them the most because they covered up one of the biggest scandals in modern day history. We trusted a president who was basically a corpse with our nuclear codes. Could have had dangerous implications on this country. Jake Tapper, but a lesson in journalism 101, is that you can't just trust the one source you're speaking to. And he acted as if he was a victim of disinformation by these Biden campaign and administration staffers because, well, he just took their word. They told him that he wasn't decrepit and he wasn't fumbling and bumbling. So he just believed it. And he's acting as if he doesn't have a mind of his own. If you're a journalist, you should have a mind of your own when other people are just noticing the obvious. You don't need to do a deep dive investigation to see President Biden falling down the steps and forgetting his words and getting lost every day.
At least, Megyn, because I think they probably figured, look, the View's not taking us. When you do a book launch, you do like I've done many of these. You look at the biggest outlets we can go to. Where can we get the most buzz? And the elite establishment like the View, because the View will make news. Other outlets will pick it up. It's not just actually doing that show. Other outlets, Mediaite, which is the Bible Little Meal, news buses might pick it up, and a lot of other different papers will pick it up. So let's try to go to View. They say, oh, the View won't take us. Then Fox won't take us. So they probably said, let's go to Megyn Kelly. And they're in their little bubble, Justin. I probably thought Megyn is not as hardcore conservative as she is. She's very, conservative at the moment. She's very speaking truth to power. They probably thought, oh, Megyn will treat us fair. It's probably thinking of the Megyn of old, and boy, did they should give it to them. Let's go to cut 7. Watch this.
Trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline.
And it's very concerning to a lot of people that this could be the leader of the free world.
Okay.
That is all I'm saying. I genuinely feel sorry for Joe Biden.
I appreciate it. I'm sure it was from a place of concern. We all believe that. Laura Trump, thank you so much.
Do you want to apologize to Laura Trump now?
I've already apologized to her. I called her months ago.
And what did she say?
I mean, I don't want to disclose the contents of a private conversation, but I thought the conversation went well. And she said, she has said this publicly, so I feel fine sharing it. She said that she would never mock anybody's stutter. But I mean, after we did the research for this book and I realized how bad his acuity issues were, I called Laura Trump and I said, you were You were right.
She was totally right. That's the thing, because when I watched that clip, and I'm giving voice to what a lot of people watching the show are feeling, Jake, I feel angry because she was right.
You know, and Justin, and then you go forward, I think it was 3 or 4 years later, Dean Phillips, a congressman, ran in the primary against Biden. And Jake Tapper went after him for questioning Biden's mental acuity. So it wasn't just the beginning of his presidency. All along the way, he was criticized and go after people that dared to question Biden's ability. And now you see Cancergate popped up. So there's a lot more to this. And it was like the little kid who's coming in. Hey, Mom, can I go out with my friends today? And Mom ignores that and spanks the heck out of him for not cleaning his room. I don't know if that interview with Megyn is going to help with book sales, but she's purely giving them a spanking there. And so what do you think of that, you know, the booking there? And what do you think well, it was at number 3 on Amazon. So I hope it doesn't go any higher. I hope we're not rewarding these lies. What do you think of that?
It's a well-deserved butt whooping. I think Megyn Kelly did a great job by making them explain themselves. That's what they need to do. They need to explain to our country why they lied to us, what they were thinking when they covered up Biden's discrepancy. And the view, whether or not you agree with Tapper, or you like Biden, or you don't like Biden, you need to hold these people accountable. They need to explain themselves. But as you said, Jake Tapper, it's like he's like a toddler. He's like this little boy getting in trouble at recess. He's not really sorry. He's just sorry that he got caught. And notice how if he was actually sorry, if he was actually confident and wanted to be an adult and confess that he was wrong, he wouldn't apologize privately. If he even apologized to her at all, it was probably half apology. He would publicly state, I was wrong and I'm sorry, because he should apologize. The real victims are the American people that he deceived.
You know why he's really wrong? Because he did the interview. Remember the big interview with Trump? I mean, the debate, not the interview. Trump, Biden. And he talks about it in the book, and he talks about it in interviews. Well, I went in there, and at the very beginning, we saw how out of it he was, and we felt sorry for him. But you never said anything through the debate. If you're a real journalism, you're doing debate, and you see what a mess he is. You can't answer a question. Why do you say, hey, Mr. President, what's going on here? You can't answer questions? Do you sure you can serve another 4 terms? Disability, nothing. They just let him slide through, gave him softball questions, and even failed in that debate. So that was a cover-up in itself, right? What do you think of that one, the debate?
Because he's not a journalist. He's a partisan hack. And he can pretend all he wants that he was not part of this cover-up, but he was, and everybody knows. And the media can't just pretend we're dumb anymore, because the American people are much smarter than them. They're like playing a game of hide and seek by just standing right out in front of us as if we're just going to look over them and just quickly move on.
Justin, thanks for joining us. We'll keep watching that book, and hopefully they don't reward these two. But thanks again. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Up last, we're going to talk about Elon. He was out doing interviews, and boy, he made news. And the media's derangement syndrome with Elon is still at it. That and more coming up on Media Exposed.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $29.99. Order right now and get our 10-pattern thumb drive spray nozzle free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. There is a strict limit of 3 per order, so don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces?
I think as my hearing loss has gotten worse, I'm not as engaging as I was before.
Then it might be time to consider nano hearing aids. The days of expensive hearing aids are over. Recent changes in the law have allowed for over-the-counter hearing aids sold direct and shipped to your home, which means no more having to go to a doctor and spend thousands.
The fact that you're able to go direct, the pricing was phenomenal. It just was a win-win all the way around.
Nano hearing aids are incredibly affordable and deliver outstanding high-quality volume with superior noise reduction.
When you put nanos in your ears, truly amazes me that you can hear so much better.
Don't mistake nanos for cheap amplifiers. Nanos are FDA-registered OTC hearing aids. They are lightweight and simple to use, and their tiny in-ear design makes them nearly invisible. And best of all, they are rechargeable, saving you hundreds of dollars on batteries.
They are so small and so powerful. Just makes my life so much better.
Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids. Prescription hearing aids could cost $3,000 or more. Order now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $397. You get a free portable charging case, a $79 value, free 24/7 lifetime telephone support, and free shipping. Plus, all Nanos come with a 45-day money-back guarantee. Try them, and if you're not happy, return them for a full refund.
Just so easy, so affordable. Just go ahead and do it.
Nano hearing aids are only $397. But wait, we are so confident you are going to love your Nanos, we are offering $100 off through this special TV offer. Order now and you'll get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. Call and order your Nano hearing aids right now and get all the benefits of being able to hear again without having to spend thousands.
Call 800-226-2107. That's 800-226-2107.
Welcome back to Media Exposed. Elon Musk was interviewed Tuesday by Bloomberg's Michelle Hussein at the Qatar Economic Summit. People asked questions, why do people dislike you? Came back, obviously, it's because of the media and other things. Then Politico did a story. Elon's out of the picture. Meanwhile, he was all over the Middle East with Trump last week making deals. What are they talking about? What are they writing? It's called talking to a computer. That's how a Bloomberg editor described Elon after his big interviews. Meanwhile, they left out his condescending questions that they asked. He's still running Tesla, and he'll still be running Tesla in 5 years, he said, while the press obsesses over his tweets, obsesses over his wealth, wants to do damage to his company. Media can't keep their story straight. They can't. Elon disappeared from the Trump world. Meanwhile, he's back in the White House this week as Trump invited the South African president. We're going to take a look at that and see how the media treated Elon. But I want to recommend my guest, Dennis Neal, the expert on Elon, who wrote the book, The Genius of Elon Musk, has a podcast, also What's Bugging Me podcast. Dennis, thanks for joining us again, as always.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Elon, before I start this, I want to show my photo. I met Elon's mom last week, May Musk. Show this. I told about you and I said, my Dennis, who wrote the book, Genius of Elon, we've been defending you. We've been doing Elon segments for the last 3 months because I said nobody's been treated probably as bad as the president is and Elon. He might be treated worse than the president, basically, but it's derangement syndrome towards Elon. And it's showcased this week, and I want to show you the first clip, how it played out, because Elon said, let me go out there and do some interviews for the company. Let me show I'm more than just a White House person. Let's go to cut 8. And this is David Farber from CNBC. And watch, here's the question.
My question is more about your work at Doge, for example. Was that worth it? You know, to the extent you are now, Elon, you were a somewhat divisive figure 2 years ago, but now you really are. I mean, there are people who love you, but there are a lot of people who dislike you, some of whom were your customers. And I wonder, was it worth the undertaking at Doge and everything else that you've done and how outspoken you've been in terms of the things you believe in to antagonize so many potential buyers and or users of things like a robo-taxi?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, what I've learned is that legacy media propaganda is very effective at making people believe things that aren't true.
What would an example of that be?
That I'm a Nazi, for example. Right. And how many legacy media publications, talk shows, whatever, try to claim that I was a Nazi because of some random hand gesture at a rally where all I said was that my heart goes out to you, and I was talking about space travel.
David Farber, like, I don't like the way he asks the questions, and I don't think it bothers Elon. It really bothers him that the questions, the way the media does, because I've been in a room and he's beloved by the public. I just think the media dislikes him so much, and obviously far fringe lefties dislike him that much. But I think it really, what do you think? I think it really disturbs Elon the way he's treated, but give me your thoughts.
Well, I watched every moment of David Faber's CNBC interview with Elon, both parts, and David did a really good job, okay? He kept doing what a reporter's supposed to do, prod and prod. But I think Elon is in a new, more aggressive wartime CEO mode, and he's not having any of it. He's getting tired of it. He took apart the Bloomberg editor-at-large in the interview in Qatar, and at times with David, he got a little impatient when he kept saying, well, sales were down. Well, yeah, but they were having a factory changeover. They just introduced a new version of the Model Y, which he pointed out is the best-selling car of any kind in the world, replacing, Mercedes-Benz, Saab, BMW, Audi, brands that have been around for decades and decades. And a Tesla Y is the best-selling car. And I think he doesn't get much credit for that, I'll tell you.
No, they're beating him up because he's cutting waste and fraud. Imagine the American media and the European media are going after Musk because he's cutting fraud, waste, nonsense. Let's just cut 9, Dennis. I want to show you this because this is the Bloomberg reporter we're talking about.
If we start with Tesla, the company has suffered in recent months what you've called blowback. So what is your plan for turning that around, the declining sales picture? And by what stage do you think you're going to be able to turn it around?
Oh, it's already turned around.
Give me some evidence for that. I've just been looking at the sales figures for Europe in April, which show very significant declines in the big markets.
Snarky, condescending. You think she'd say, Elon, tell us about all this ingenuity, cars that can drive by themselves. You don't have to do it. The cars he's introducing just drive by themselves. You don't have to do anything. It's amazing if I told you that 10 years ago.
He almost takes a blowtorch to this, editor who's so condescending and who's constantly defending the critics of Elon. She ends up asking him, now, how often have you been talking to Putin? Well, he's talked to him once in a group discussion ever a couple of years ago. He never talks to Putin, and he never has otherwise. And he says, where are you even getting this? And it's merely because he made a joke on the X platform about Putin. And then she asked him, gee, you ever going to make drone weapons? And he said, we don't make drones at all. Like, where is that coming from? And then she said, right before the South African black president goes to the White House, South Africa is trying to find a way to let Starlink operate in South Africa because it can't, because South Africa law makes it illegal for a white-owned business like Starlink, owned by South African-born Elon Musk, to operate in the country. And she says, isn't that a conflict of interest that you're friends with the president and they're trying to come up with a loophole to let you operate in Starlink? And he says, why aren't you upset that there's a law that says a white cannot own a business in South Africa, but a black can? And he kept asking her, answer the question. Isn't that a bad law? Are you against race? And she won't answer. She won't even denounce it. She just keeps saying, well, let's move on. It's not my interview. And ha, ha, ha. And he has had it. He's done with it. This Doge experience and the fact, Adam, that even Republicans in Congress lacked the courage to pass those cuts and make them law, I think it's left him sort of disgusted with Washington and sick of it. And he's pushing back hard. And watch this space and get some popcorn.
So all these people from around the globe, Qatar Economic Council, they come, they want to learn about AI, they want to learn robotics, they want to learn about ingenuity, all these, and they looking forward to Elon's, Q&A, right? And then they looking forward to some great, knowledge that Elon's going to teach him and all sorts of, his brilliance. And these are the questions they get. They must be like, well, I don't want to hear about this. And it's ridiculous. Right. And I want to show you a cut because you were talking about this. Watch the South African question that she does. Let's go to cut 11.
Now 140 laws in South Africa that give
that basically give strong preference to if you're a black South African, and not otherwise. And so now I'm in this absurd situation where I was born in South Africa but cannot get a license to operate in Starlink because I'm not black.
Well, it looks like that's about. Looks like that.
Right to you?
Looks like that's about to change.
I just asked you a question. Please answer. Does that seem right to you?
Well, those rules were designed to bring.
Yes or no?
Those rules were designed to bring about an era of more economic equality in South Africa, and it looks like the government has found a way around those rules for you.
I asked you a question.
This is your interview. Everyone wants to hear from you.
I asked you a question. Yes or no?
Not
Racist
for me.
laws, yes or no?
Not for me to answer. I have got a question for you about your government work and the amount of savings.
Why do you like racist laws?
This is not for me to answer. Come on.
Yes, it is.
Now, you wouldn't be trying to dodge a question.
So you have to ask a question. I answer my question. No, you answer mine.
I think if you...
This is not what, Dennis, that's not what they signed up for, the people that went to this conference, right?
Right. Let me tell you something. This illustrates lesson 6 or lesson 7 of my 11 lessons of Elon and the leadership genius of Elon Musk. And that is on the media. Elon believes, to hell with them. They are shameless shills. Your PR department is a waste of time. Don't bother responding to their biased view and questions. Don't go down into the tangle. Instead, create your own content, create your own statements. Elon doesn't need the media, and that's one extra reason they hate him, although the real reason they hate him is because Trump, bad man. And look at this woman. What an idiot. What a condescending person. Well, they're trying to make up for past, but you're defending a racist law. And by the way, that's exactly the kind of libwit idiocy we have going on in this country that was running out of control until Donald Trump was able to win re-election with Elon Musk's help.
Dennis, it brings up a memory of mine a bit. I went to the SALT conference, Anthony Scaramucci's conference, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And she had Tara Swisher. She's known as this Silicon Valley, equal opportunist writer, podcaster. And she's bashing men at this ultra hedge fund, private equity. And I'm like, why are you bringing up at this conference where people are investments, and she's talking about equality and DI. I don't know who hired that woman from this Qatar Economic Conference, but bam, they should be taught a lesson. Don't hire people like that. That's not what they signed up for. They want to learn lessons from Elon. Give me your final thoughts.
Yeah, and you know what? That whole DEI and libwit ideology, it dies very hard. I thought it's on its way out, but my alma mater, the University of Florida, has just picked the finalist, president of the University of Michigan, an Asian guy named Santa Ono, who talks about, indeed, the whole critical race theory and whites are bad and the whole bit. Okay. I can't believe that in Governor DeSantis's conservative red state of Florida, some search committee came up with this selection. So DEI must die, but it's going to be hard to kill.
Got to go, Dennis. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you soon.
Take care.
A word from our partner at Hotel Planner. You're frustrated with how confusing it is these days to get a good hotel for yourself, your family, a large group of friends. Hotel Planner is a cutting-edge booking platform that's easy to navigate, AI-powered, has 1.4 million global partners. If you call their reservations, you'll get a human, not just a chatbot. Go to hotelplanner.com today to book all you need. So I want to thank Fran and Erin in the control room, David Zia for joining, Justine Murray, Dr. Schusterman, and Dennis Steele. We'll see you next week on Media Exposed.
Wounded Warrior Project empowers post 9/11 veterans and their families with life-changing programs and services.
I realized I could be successful in a civilian career.
We stand by warriors and advocate for their needs going forward.
They were by my side in the hospital, and they're still with me today.
Through our programs, community, and advocacy, we're proving
anything is possible.
Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/connect.
There's nothing worse than losing your dog before their time. So why do so many dog foods contain awful things a human would never eat? To save his pets, world-famous veterinarian Dr. Marty knew he had to change what was in their bowl.
That's why I created Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, my breakthrough formula that's changed everything about dog food.
Nature's Blend contains nothing but all-natural ingredients designed to help dogs with everything from digestive issues to itching and paw licking, even moving around better. And that's because Nature's Blend is freeze-dried. So instead of destroying the nutrients with high heat, we gently preserve them, and you'll see the difference in your dog.
Take it from a veterinarian with over 50 years of experience saving dogs' lives. I have never seen a food make this much impact on a dog's health.
Such a huge difference in her health. More energy, more playful, no more pooping issues. He's healthier, he looks better.
Dr. Marty has thousands of 5-star reviews. And for a limited time, get up to 54% off Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, plus a free gift with our special TV offer. Call or go to drmartypets.com/TV. That's drmartypets.com/TV.
Just give me 30 minutes a day for 21 days and the weight will come off. You want to know the one mistake most people make when they want to lose weight? They try to overhaul their entire life at one time. My secret is you just commit to 3 weeks at a time.
In 21 days, I lost 10 pounds and 15 inches off my entire body.
Right now, bundle 21-day fix with Shakeology, superfood nutrition that helps you lose weight and feel less bloated, and save